Mr. President, ano po ang yung mga proposals ninyo for the stability of the regional currency at saka sa issue po ng terrorism?
Well, yung sa terrorism, bago tayo umalis ng Manila, nag-akausap ko yung NSA head natin at nakipag-usap sila sa Australia at saka US embassies. They set up a protocol para so we won't have a repeat of what happened the last time around. No? With regards to yung global financial security, it's really our concentration has to be with the volatility of the currencies and the emphasis on concerted action, which I already had stated. So we will work to ensure that that will continue and that will even be stronger, so that there is less volatility in the market.
Sir, you're also scheduled to meet with the big Japanese companies tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, yes.
Do we expect more investments from them?
That is the major incentive to proceed to the APEC, and I understand that it will be sizable, perhaps a lot bigger than what we were able to bring back from America. Okay, thank you.
Sir, you mentioned that you would want to have a bilateral meeting with the U.S. President and also the Chinese President and the Russian President. Do you know kung confirm na and the topics that you would want to discuss with them?
Well, I haven't had the chance to talk with the people here, whether or not it has been confirmed. But I'm also looking forward to the bilaterals that have already been set with the Canadian Prime Minister, the Chilean President, and also including the Papua New Guinea President. So, as far as the Japanese are concerned, we did just finish in the ASEAN. So I don't think there's anything new that we should be tackling. So I'll have to wait and see what has been confirmed already.
Christine?
Sir, local issue. Yung sa Philippine Airlines, have you decided kung there's a need for palace intervention in this?
Well, we've been preparing for it. In fact, one of the last meetings I had for this week was to talk to several individuals to include representatives from the labor sector and also the PAL management. So we're trying to get them closer to a negotiated settlement and ease the fears of both parties. So yes, I expect some word on it by tomorrow. But the signs are promising.
So how long have you been, so parang it's the palace which is initiating this?
When we had the meeting, I understand we didn't receive the appeal for a review of the decision of Secretary Baldos. So it's a preemptive meeting even before we get that notice, and we're preparing. But of course, I understand they'll also be filing with the Court of Appeals. So that makes it a sub judice issue, which we will have, para some issues of how far and how long we can intervene.
So you met with PAL officials and?
Some PAL officials, then some members of our labor consultants, and people who can approach the various unions that are participating in the sympathy with Korea.
Who's going to make the recommendations? You'll know by tomorrow.
No, it's no longer recommendations. We're like the bridge. We're trying to be a bridge. And so far, there are very promising signs. I have to wait as to how far they have gone and what the acceptance has been by both parties.
Okay, last question, Raymond.
Sir, 2 points. First, ano yung pinaka-key points na pag-usapan niyo with the former President Bill Clinton?
There are so many topics. So one of them that really stuck was yung Indonesian example of how they fought the anti-corruption campaigns. There are talks also about the population and the effect on growth or the lack of growth. One of the points that really stuck was women who have access to higher education by default promote a more manageable population growth rate by staying in school and having opportunities after school. So that seems to be their findings everywhere else in the world. He was asking us also about the rice sufficiency. It's quite a long meeting, very, very interesting. I don't think we discussed VFA.
Did you discuss?
I think the first thing we discussed was our experiences with media. He was saying that he could be Kasi how long they would pay attention when he was talking. One of the funniest things he said was he would normally start a speech with a joke. But unfortunately, even these days, no, they seem to concentrate on the joke rather than the substance of what he came there to speak of. So there were a lot of similarities between his experiences and ours.
So last point, you mentioned last time in Vietnam, the 21 billion approved, loan agreement approved by Japan. What's the status and will you follow up with this year?
No, I was talking to the Prime Minister, the Japanese Prime Minister, and we made the request, and they were very rapid in the response. They said that had been approved already. So I think for the details, you'll have to talk to Secretary Singson as to when it will be released, when it will be used, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.